Welcome back, everybody, to the Pick and Roll channel for the board YouTube channel for today's Pick and Roll. And as you can tell, it's Monday. We're just getting started for the week. So let's get into things here. The NBA is back for a new week as we are here on the Pick and Roll live stream. And there's one game to talk about today on the show. That's how we'll lead it off. We have the Raptors playing against the Knicks. Weird scheduling by the NBA this week due to the NBA Cup. A little bit of a rest week for a lot of the teams, but there's still opportunity to bet here. We have one game. We'll go very in-depth on today's game. And we are hoping today to also discuss the Tuesday slate of games, but unfortunately, no player props are available there. So we'll save that for tomorrow. And likely tomorrow, we'll have all four NBA Cup games to discuss from the Tuesday slate and the Wednesday slate. So make sure to keep up to date with all the content here on the Board YouTube channel presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook, that you are subscribed to our channel. Also, drop a like if you enjoyed this one along the way. So we may not have as long of a show as we would normally do because of the one game, but we will break it down. Let's first of all talk about the previous week of betting here. Last week, it was a profitable week on the show. However, unfortunately, ended the week on a losing day on the Friday. Overall, we had the blowout from the Portland Trailblazers Utah Jazz game, which ruined the three-leg parlay that we had there. We got a winner on DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, and we had a loser on Clint Capella. Not really much sweating here on any of the bets, but any comments from you, Pips, on the Friday or the week as a whole?
Yeah, I overestimated Blazers. Like, bunch of names, and our favorite guy, one of the favorite guy, I'll say, Aiton, put one of the worst performances like all time in the NBA. Got benched 2 minutes into the second half. The Blazers were, I think, 5-point favorites coming into this game, and they were down 35. They were down like 35 mid third quarter, which is to Utah Jazz without Lauri Markkanen and Jordan Clarkson, and I think someone else was out as well. So yeah, can't do much. Yeah, this is hilarious stuff. Yeah.
So I'll read it out for the audio listeners. Coach Billups on DeAndre Ayton playing just 2 minutes in second half Friday. I didn't like his spirit in the game. Ayton, by the way, this season's averaging career lows in points and rebounds this season. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like his spirit. I watched the entire game. I was like, get this man out of the fucking floor. Like, they were getting like wide open layups and dunks every possession, and he was kind of lost out there. Yeah. So, and on offense, he will just get the ball and turn around and take a shot. Like, no flow of offense or anything. So yeah, I think this was a great bet. I would bet it again if I could. Think this cash is like, if it's not a blowout, like 9 out of 10 times, I don't know, like super low. Like, it's unfortunate that we didn't get paid on the discount we had here. So yeah.
On DeAndre Ayton's stats, he's averaging pretty close to what he would normally average for rebounds. He's playing the same amount of minutes as normal, pretty much. Averaging less points, though. He's typically a 16, 17 point per game player this year. He's a 14 point per game player. I don't think his next contract will look like the contract that he's currently on. Basically, if you have like any sort of promise while you're on your rookie contract, you're going to get a max or close to a max. Like, it's just, that's the investment you put into these players in hopes they develop. And in the case here, $34 million this season for DeAndre Ayton, it's not really working out there. But the Blazers, I guess, have the space to just eat that and then still give reps to Donovan Clingan.
Yeah. And the off-season stuff about him, like, he always says, like, I'll prove everyone wrong. I'm working hard.
I remember that.
Dominate and stuff. Like, he playing like complete garbage. Like, he has the skills and tools. Like, that seems like Jalen Green stuff. You see it on the court. Like, he doesn't have like the IQ or the will to do it. Like, he's just passive out there, and he's aggressive. Last night, he started the game like really aggressive. Probably like wanted to make a statement game. He killed in the first quarter. He was playing great. Right, he ended up the game with 14 points and 19 rebounds last night. 7 offensive rebounds. He was really trying hard, like for the first quarter and a half. and the Portland was up like a couple of like points on the Lakers, and then he completely disappeared, like went back to his usual stuff. This guy, unbelievable guy. So I not we have space to talk about this. I'll just give an example. Usually, when he scores a lot of points in the first half, I will fade him live like every game because his scoring was like he was scoring like I don't know like or first quarter like he will score 10 points. He will average like 8 points in the first corner and 8 points for the rest of the game, and he averaged like two field goal attempts in the entire fourth quarter for the entire like 2 to 3 years of his career. Like he will just straight up disappear and don't take shots and be like incredible passive out there. And yeah, I was taking that under for quite some time, and he's now playing like that from the first second of the game. So
Yeah, well, we got plenty of time to discuss, so if we want to put a bit of hate on DeAndre Ayton, we can do that. Him and Jalen Green are examples of players that like it's proof that like talent only gets you so far. Like they're talented than a lot of the players in the league, but are they as effective towards winning? Probably not.
yeah,
And I guess this game does serve as an example there. But before we go any further, a word from the presenting sponsor on the board YouTube channel, the FanDuel Sportsbook. You want to keep up to date with all the stuff we're talking about on the show, like a game between the Blazers and the Utah Jazz. Follow along all the games around the league by betting on the FanDuel Sportsbook. And here's how. The NBA's back, and with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, you can catch all of the action around the league, especially this week. NBA Cup is going on. These are some high-profile games that we play in Vegas. Last year, we had some fantastic games at this stage of the season. So a great time to get involved with this tremendous offer, because right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass, and all you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA. And on top of this, for a limited time, new customers get $5, get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. So next time you're maybe telling a pick on the show, next time maybe you have a hunch on how many points a player will score, who's going to win a game, bet it on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life live with League Pass. Just visit FanDuel.com/board to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. For 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds, terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Let's jump in now to the slate of games that we have today. We could go a little bit in depth on these teams as well. One game here. There are some lines up if you're looking to play on the money line or player prop for the Tuesday games or the Wednesday games. That's available to you. Hopefully, we can cover all 4 of those games from a player prop perspective tomorrow. As for today's show, this is what we've got. The New York Knicks on the road at the Toronto Raptors. The Knicks, I spoke about it last week. I was predicting a 6-point spread here. That's what we get. The Knicks are favored by 6 away at Toronto. Toronto coming off of a couple of tough losses. They came back late against the Mavericks to make it a 7-point game and actually cover, but they were down by 22 points at one point in that game, and they got blown out by the Oklahoma City Thunder by nearly 40 points in their last game. From a Knicks perspective, this offense has been flowing. Karl Anthony Towns is doing what they wanted him to do on offense. The defense is leaking points. They're 14-9 on the season here, but let's break it down here. The Knicks. Well, actually, let's start with the player props here, matchup-wise. What is something that you're looking for in this game? A lot of investment of time can go into this one.
yeah. So it's tough. Raptors kind of changed the scheme a couple of times this season. To start the season, they were leaking a ton of points to bigs, opposing pick and roll mans, cutters, like isolations. Like they were leaking points to the bigs, and then suddenly they are 7th best pick and roll man. So over the last 15 games, they're probably like top 3 to pick and roll mans. because like if you turn from 30th to 7th, you kind of switched. They allowed 13, 14 points to Bam Adebayo. Nasri scored 2 and 10. So Towns will be like a instant bet early into the season. Now it's like I don't know. So he's also questionable. The only guy is questionable for this game is Towns. He is a 24.5 line. So yeah, not there. I'm interested. What do you think? How did they defend Jalen Brunson? I can't remember last season what was the cover on Jalen Brunson.
Um, it's kind of difficult to say. I imagine they'll be pretty comfortable with single coverage for out the gates. I don't think they'll be like heavily doubled. Like I don't think we'll see what we saw out of the doubles on him last season. They will probably feel decently comfortable having like when David Mitchell's off the bench guarding him, maybe a little bit of Jamal Shed there. I don't think we're gonna see like heavy blitzes on him. And out of pick and roll, we haven't seen them be aggressive on switching with guys like Pirtle when they come up.
I didn't watch how they defend Doncic. What was like?
I
Did
missed
they
that
send
game.
double?
I actually was out that
Yeah,
one. That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
first game I've missed.
So last couple of games, we had Mitchell covering, we had Halliburton covering, of course. We have Doncic covering his line, but that was like by one point. And to start the season, this is like a good like template. So I need to open up. I'm talking, but I didn't open up the props panel. Just a second. I'll
Yep.
share you like this makes a lot of sense. This stuff. I'll just change to the dark theme. So early into the season, they were
Zoom in a little bit. One more.
so one more. So early into the season, this is like going by the date. This is start of the season. This is the last game. So down there we can see, as I spoke, early into the season, they were leaking points to the rollmans, bigs, and they were good against ball handlers. As we can see, early into the season, they held Mitchell, Edwards, Jamal Murray, De'Aaron Fox, Halliburton, and Edwards. All of these guys stayed below their under the line. So no one like zero players of these like Mitchell, Edwards, Fox, Murray, Halliburton didn't cover like against the Raptors. Like 7 straight players stayed under, and they were leaking a ton of points to to rollmans. Then they changed the defense, and now they allow a ton of points to the pick and roll ball handlers, and they don't allow any points to the rollman. And that switch happened somewhere like probably like 3 weeks ago, and then since then every pick and roll ball handler cover Mitchell, Rozier, Halliburton, Doncic, every covered, and they are ranked as seventh, allowing seventh most points to ball handlers. And then they're not like they switched. We spoke about on the show early into the season when they played AD and I don't know like Jokic and a couple of other players that were killing them as bigs, and we were betting it successfully. And then they just suddenly every bigs was staying under and every ball handler was going over, and this single player by date confirms that trend. So I'm kind of interested in Jalen Brunson in this game.
I'll add, by the way, with that switch in the last 3 weeks, their defense as a whole has improved drastically since they started doing this. So
Yeah.
it looks like
I mean,
it's getting worse, but taking away the roll man and taking away plays for the bigs has significantly improved their defense.
no offense to your guys' coach, but that's just that's just common sense.
Oh, I very much dislike the Raptors coach, so feel free to disrespect him.
Yeah, that's like the common. That's
Oh,
basically common
don't get me
sense. You're you're not
Don't
giving.
get me started, because
Yeah,
all the time he'll get, oh my God, he'll get praise for making a switch to something, but it's like, you should have already known. You shouldn't have had to switch. You should have just started that way. Like they just halfway through a game. Like, great, you figured it out. I probably could have told you that pregame that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
I could have told you that at the start of the season. Yeah, having Pirtle in deep in deep drop coverage every play, no adjustments on a game-to-game basis, probably wasn't going to work. And yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll get that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I mean, like every successful defense in the league is doing that. You want to force pull-up jumpers from guards, and you want to take away layups and dunks from your bigs. Like that's like, and you don't want to give corner threes. Like that's it. Like if someone is doing isolation and pulling up for fadeaway threes, you love that shot. Even if it's like Steph Curry and Damian Lillard doing it, you are kind of okay with it, as long there is no wide open threes and no dunks and layups. Like that's basic principle of Oklahoma City Thunder defense. They are ranked number one. That was the basic principle of Boston Celtics, how they won championship defense last couple of seasons and had top five defense. That's like every successful defense have like exact same principles, and then there are still teams playing it as the exact opposite. Like that's yeah. I mean, like there's like a lot of people like that are like casual fans or like maybe a bit advanced that understand that stuff. Like,
Mhm.
and then you have coaches in the league that don't understand that stuff. Like just yeah. I would say unexcusable. Like that's terrible.
Yeah,
So
you said earlier in the season that they might just be doing this because it's easy to do, and the players don't have to think very much. And granted, they were
yeah.
dealing with a lot of injuries, but like, just, he can also just play the right way. and
Yeah, it's incredible actually. I would say for this game, I like Branson over, but I have one issue. His line is at 25.5, and Towns is questionable. I am
okay,
99 percentile that Towns
how's
is
the play?
playing,
Yeah,
and then with the line will drop, which
yeah.
is yeah. So I don't know what to honestly. I don't know what to do in this spot. Uh, can make official bet that's going to move down. I mean, we'll get the discount because they rested Towns. Make no sense. They need him for this game.
So, for example, you talked about this with Jaylen Brown on Friday. His line with I also believe is at 25.5. Jason Tatum was questionable. Then a tweet came out that said Jason Tatum was uh, what's the term? Was present at the
Uh,
shoot around.
yeah,
And then Jaylen Brown's line was 23.5 right
yeah,
after. So a 2 point swing. So we're in a similar spot here. At the very least, if Karl Anthony Towns is in, this line will be 24.5, but it could get to 23 as well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. To 24.5, because if it goes to 23, everyone will smash that line.
so like, I guess
Uh,
you really want to play it now, like D Dot brings up, you could play points over at 22.5, adjusted line, then adjust for the assists under. I guess that's
okay, so they have, but yeah, there's no alternative lines.
uh,
Uh,
that's a possible. Okay, so yeah, even
I,
still.
that will be my approach probably for this one, but they don't have alternative
But I was gonna
lines,
say,
which is
even still, you can just play that later and get an even better price. You can get him at 20.5.
yeah.
Yeah, makes it difficult, I guess, in this one here. So that's what you're leaning on for the Knicks. Is there anything Raptors related you were looking at for this one?
Yeah, I don't know what's the number. Let me just take a quick look. Maybe I bet Knicks to win and Brunson 20 plus, but that's minus 139, which is I need to get better price for our show. I'll say it's heavy juiced. And let me just check combo lines for this one. Yeah, they are not up for Agbaji.
With one game, you would think this stuff would be up early. They only got one game to worry about.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we were
So
thinking. We thought we'd have lines for tomorrow as well. We don't even have everything for this game.
yeah, I'm trying to figure this one out. Uh, it's tough, honestly. So I'm trying to like I have a like a lean. I just need to find what's the best approach to this one.
Right. So,
I'll
talk us through it. What are you looking at for Abaji here?
He everyone's back for the Raptors. So besides
Brown
besides Brown and
and
quickly,
quickly.
yeah, but Brown maybe would affect him. But last game he played 20 minutes. Uh, that's how I see it going forward. Like he start for some defense and then he doesn't close. That's always like that's how I see it. And against Thunder he played 22 minutes, and now he played.
Well, Thunder game they lost by like 40, which has an impact.
Yeah, but that game didn't had they didn't have Kelly Olynyk
Yes,
in
Kelly
that
Olynyk's
one.
back.
Yeah, and Devin Mitchell is very much needed in this
I
one.
think
So
I agree. They'll close with Mitchell today for the Brunson matchup.
yeah, they still played Battle and Mobo, and that Jacoby Walters getting more minutes, and Kelly Olynyk is back. Honestly, like I don't, and on my spread, I have Jamal Shed out of rotation, and still Agbaji playing only 20 minutes. So even like if Shed is in, like that's even more minutes taken away. But I see like 20 to 24 minutes. And in those minutes, he in this like playoff environment, I don't see it for him. Like if he shoots like from three, like he makes like three for from three. That's something I can live with. But overall, I don't think that's the case.
I'm
He's
just
not
looking
good
at
shooter.
the Raptors 905 schedule, the G League affiliate, because this could affect Jamal Shed. So Shed, I believe, played yesterday for the 905, but they don't have another game until Friday. So fatigue won't be as big there.
Yeah. So
So
I think my official bet will be like I just need to check something for his rebounds, but I do think you can is it you can share my screen. I'll show you how I approach this.
okay, yeah,
So this season when like I don't know like this season when Agbaji played 20 to 27 minutes with Barrett and Barnes, he averaged 4.4 points. And I would say like last two games against Thunder and Dallas, those were a good matchups. They put so much pressure on Barnes and Barrett that Agbaji was given a couple of wide open looks in those one. Won't happen much with Knicks tonight because they have Bridges and Mikhail and OG to guard Barnes and Barrett straight up. Even Hart, even McBride. So like they don't need to like collapse on Barnes and Barrett. And yeah, the thing against Cleveland, he played 27 minutes. I don't see that many minutes tonight. He shot 3 from 3 inside against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's an outlier. In that game, he also had 5 rebounds. Also, something I don't see because in every other game he had zero against the Wolves in 27 minutes. 1 rebound against Pistons in 24, zero against Thunder that gives the most rebounds in the entire league, and then only 2 rebounds against the Dallas. So I see him probably at 2 rebounds tonight, between 2 and 3, more leaning towards 2. Points line is at 8.5, heavy juice to under, and he averaged 4.4 points. And I mean, this is a small sample size. I'll show you guys how to approach this, but let's see. Overall, at 11.5 line, he is averaging 6 in 5 games with Barnes Barrett in those minutes. I'll check in those games. I'll need to check the usage. So usage was 9%, 10%, 8%, and then against Thunder in Dallas, that I said a bit more high usage because they collapsed on the best players. So he had 15 and 11% usage. But I will say like standard is between 9 and 12 with these guys. Even in games where he played bigger minutes, he still had like between 8 and 12, I will say. So I'll go back to the last season, way more data. I don't care who is playing because usage is if we incorporate usage that's he has with these guys, that's more important than the games that he played with. I'll say like between 8% and 13% usage, and the games where he played between 20. I think 20 is still floor. I'll probably go 18 to 26 minutes probably. And you can see that last season when he played 18 to 26 minutes with this kind of usage between 8 and 13%, in 18 to 28 minutes, he was under in 12 out of the 15 games, and he averaged only 8.4 points and rebounds. So I'm this is my first bet for this game. Ochai Agbaji under 11.5 points and rebounds. I will go for points, rebounds, and assists, but that's just my like minus 150. So can't do much
Yeah.
there. But he averaged less than one assist per game. So I'll
So
do
yeah, go ahead.
official bet, under 11.5 points and rebounds.
So we've got minus 120 here at FanDuel. We've got minus 110 all over the board here. Some minus 104s as well, plus 100 even. Oh, sorry, that's gone. Minus 104, minus 110, widely available though. So we'll be tracking this one at minus 110 here. So it'll be Ochai Agbaji under 11.5 points plus rebounds. And I don't think we need any more of a handicap there. You've gone through it completely on that one. But that is the official bet on this one. You said first. Was there anything else you were curious about here?
Yeah, I mean, I want to bet. I want to bet Brunson in this one when they
Yeah.
roll in.
What? So somebody did ask. Diaz asked, what's the number you're looking for on Brunson? Like 23.5? Is that the number you want to play?
I mean, I'll bet it 24.5.
Okay.
But 23.5 is like price you need to absolutely smash. I'll show you the handicap. It's similar. Like I can like not like wanted to talk like something about props madness, the tool. Like you saw what can I do like in couple of clicks there. Like you can check all the data with usage, with coverages, with everything. So on the this is a really specific example for Jalen Brunson. When he playing with Skinny playing 30 plus minutes, I will say I expect him to play 40 plus minutes tonight. Like that's I think that's out of question for cup
So
elimination
long
game
as
for tips.
it's not a blowout, but yes.
Yeah, in blowouts, man. Like they were up 30 points one game, like cup last week. They were up 30 points, and Jalen Brunson still ended up playing like 40 minutes. Like teams that didn't care. Like honestly, like he's absolutely insane. Uh, I'll say okay, this is when he played 30 plus minutes. And this is so simple. Like we can go down there, see he scored quarter of his points on the free throw as a ball handler. And most of the free throws he gets to, it's also when he's playing in pick and rolls as a ball handler. So half of his points comes from when he's playing pick and rolls as a ball handler. Like that's how he scores. So when you look at the team's defense against pick and roll ball handlers, this is like so simple. Like let's exclude top 10. So he's covering this in 50% of the games, 26 points average. When we exclude top 10 pick and roll ball handler defense, we get left with this. He is under in 9 out of 12 with 28.8 points average. So like that's right away. Okay, let's see how he like does against great only top 10 pick and roll ball handler defense. Look at this. Like
Mhm.
he's under in 6 out of the 7 with 22 points average. And other way around, when we exclude those the best teams, we get 28.8 and 70%, 75% covering. Like that's insane. A 6.5 points tweak depending on how good defense is against pick and roll ball handlers.
Yeah.
And now tonight he's playing seventh worst pick and roll ball handler defense. Last season, I remember last two games against we spoke about it, but last season when he played The Raptors last two games. I remember exactly last two games. After the trade and stuff, January and March, he had 38 points in first one in a huge blowout, and the next one he had 26 points in only 29 minutes in 44-point blowout. So
I
these
remember
first two
that one.
games, yeah, I remember both of these games. We talk about it.
Yeah.
Uh, he was getting everything he wanted. I remember you complaining about defending him straight up. I remember that. Like they were, I think it was Barn as a point of attack, and we were like, "What's the point of this?" So yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the games when he stayed under, Randall was playing. So these last two games were without Randall, which is more representative of how Brunson plays actually.
Yep.
Even if you take like last season, I'll just show some like not head to head, but like overall last season. When you look at the trend, like last season, he started the season. You'll see a lot of red early into the season, and as the season progressed, this is like turning point where they traded Randall. Like early into the season, he averaged like 23 points. Then they traded Randall and he averaged 30 points for the rest of the season. So these first two games where he scored 21, 22 are kind of irrelevant. And the last two, he scored 38 and 26 in a huge blowout. So he will score. Both of these were huge blowouts. So without closing the game, he still ended up scoring uh, last two. He averaged 32 points in huge blowouts against the Raptors. So overall, yeah, this is a great matchup. Just the line, just the line. I kind of I like it even at 25 and a half, but I can't bet it as I know Towns will be ruled in and the line will go down. So if I'm taking 25 plus, I don't know.
All right. I mean, that's fair. At the very least, really good information to put on the show today to go for a Jalen Brunson over. Just wait for Karl Anthony Towns news that he's playing, and you'll get a better line than 25 and a half, especially right now it's heavily juiced at FanDuel. I can check what it is around the NBA as well. Yeah, heavy juice everywhere on the over 25 and a half. So if this comes down, worth a play. Absolutely. We go to some of the questions from the chat here. We could talk about RJ Barrett's matchup. Anthony Sturbo mentions RJ Barrett under 21.5 points, minus 102. So this is an interesting one because Barrett obviously thrives when he gets to the rim, and the Knicks are very bad at defending the rim because they have very bad defenders at the rim. However, they have the players that can cut off those drives. So how do you feel about RJ Barrett's matchup in this one?
I'll just check some numbers before speaking on this because we were mocking the Knicks defense early into the season,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we saw a huge change there. I'll just check last 10 games for the Knicks, how they are doing against the rim.
Mm-hmm.
So last 10 games, Knicks allow 8 least uh, points at the rim from the restricted
Okay.
area.
So getting better.
So yeah, they're getting also the paint is also getting better. I think percentage wise, they are so they have percentage wise, they also have like eight best field goal percentage on defending the rim. They are like in the range of Houston Rockets and Boston Celtics out there, and Orlando Magic, which is great defensive teams. Knicks also, yeah, they are sacrificing some corner threes for that shit. But overall, like their defense improved. Their defense improved. They are currently ranked as the ninth worst defense, and they were like fifth worst like a couple of weeks ago. So they are trending in the right direction. Uh, it's difficult, but they have the best offense. So Towns is kind of paying off. Like they'll figure out defense, and when it comes to the playoffs, they'll figure out the defense. But the offense being so good is Towns effect. Yeah. So on the RJ Barrett, they take away transition and free throws. and spot up, but they give a shitload to the pick and roll ball handlers that defend the single coverage. They're quite decent at the rim defense. So I don't have like. Also, he's playing against the Knicks. I could see him being a bit
He should
more
be
inclined
very
to
motivated to
aggressive.
score
Yeah,
today.
yeah. So no bet on my side. Also, someone needs to score for the.
The Raptors.
I
Yeah.
see I see Grady Dick being back as a good thing for his under. I think Grady will shoot a ton
Yeah,
tonight.
Grady had a lot of usage last game. I don't have the exact numbers. I didn't watch, but Grady was heavily
I think he,
involved last game.
I think he had season high usage last game. Yeah, he had season high. Like he had
Okay.
higher usage. He had higher usage throughout the season, but without Barnes in the
Yeah.
lineup. With
Yeah.
Barnes, this was the season high. So previously, the season high with Barnes and Barrett was 23%. Last night, yesterday, was 30%. So
Yeah.
huge increase. Yeah, and I expect it to be like 25, somewhere in between, because they need him to shoot. Like they need him to
Yeah.
fire up.
The thing is, his line's very well adjusted. It's 18.5 today.
Yeah,
That's too high to
15
bet,
and a
I
half.
think.
15 and a
Oh, I have
half.
the combos up. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
15 and a half.
I,
I would
let's
I'd
just
lean over, but it's
yeah. Usage wise, can you just look for threes? Like, what's the line for threes? Like 2.5 should be a smash probably
2.5 plus
plus
102.
money. Yeah, that should be honestly that should be a good bet. Like I would make it official because I don't like it, like betting on this in like playoff environment, but you, he should
Why do
get
you
ton.
say playoff environment though? What makes this playoff environment today?
This team, either team didn't win anything for quite some times, and they approach these competitions like they want to win. And they'll play
Okay.
playoff minutes for the starters. We'll see. Like every Knicks will play 40 plus minutes.
And because they have some days off, they have 2 days off at least after
Ye-
this.
Yeah, and I mean also the physical defense physicality will be like
Let me see.
higher than the
Knicks
regular
don't
season stuff.
play until I think the Knicks have the week off actually after today.
I like they'll play like it's a playoff game for sure. Maybe not like game 7 or like finals, but like round 1 type of defense and energy and physicality
Oh,
will
they
be.
play Wednesday. I'm tripping.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah. But just saying, like I that's how I see it. I was
Okay.
also they think like guys like Raptors that will miss the playoffs and will tank. This is like their like spotlight of the year. Like this is their playoff.
The
This is
single
like
game
this is
slate.
yeah. This is their like championship game like this season. Like the most important game of the season is tonight against the Knicks.
Okay. Um,
So
yeah, that makes sense. Who do you
and that's
think? Go ahead. Go ahead.
and that's for a bunch of teams. Like that's not just for the Raptors. Like bunch of teams that came there are like looking to
Who do you
win.
think OG will be guarding today? Do you think he'll be on Barnes? I would assume he's on Barnes duty.
Yes, it's weird, but I think yeah, I think this should be on Barnes. Uh, it's difficult to do like because Barrett is also like a quite strong dude. Uh, he's too strong for Mikael Bridges. That's like if
So
they
is
put
Barnes.
Mikael Bridges, yeah, and so probably Josh Hart on Barrett. I think that
Okay.
even though
Interesting.
though they love to play Hart as safety, like roaming, but yeah. So like tomorrow we have Orlando Magic against Bucks. For like Wednesday, we have Hawks against the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hawks will play there like it's a playoff game for them.
Well, that's an NBA Cup game. That is pretty much a playoff game.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah,
so
those games will be
so
fun to talk about.
schedule wise, it's like cup game, and then on Friday a bunch of games. Is it
Yeah,
like
Friday it's
correct?
back to normal, pretty much.
Yeah. I need to just check who is playing on the Thursday.
The Raptors
How-
are playing. Um, let's see. Raptors, Heat, Celtics, Pistons, Kings, Pelicans.
I think I got something wrong here. Like honestly, today. Okay, so yeah, I've got
Thursday's
something
not
wrong
Cup
here.
though.
Like
Only the next 2 days are Cup games.
yeah, I messed this up. Like I thought tonight Knicks or Raptors. Like I don't know why I thought this is like cup game. I don't know. I was that's why you asked me actually why I think this is important. Yeah, like I thought it's a cup game
Oh, the
tonight.
Raptors have not
Yeah,
advanced in the Cup, man.
yeah. I was like surprised to see it. Like maybe I should miss something. Like I approached this completely like
The
it's
Knicks,
like
their Cup games on Wednesday.
yeah. I realize now when I saw it them playing halves. Yeah, that's why. I sorry guys. Like this is I was saw one game and I was like, okay, maybe this must be like a cup game. Like, yeah.
I
Sorry,
don't think
guys.
that affects your handicap on
Yeah,
Brunson or Abaji, though. Okay.
no, not at all. Like, not at all. Like, but yeah, I got this one wrong. Sorry, guys.
I think I don't think anything you said makes other than like playoff environment. The matchups make sense. Everything on that
yeah,
front. So
yeah. I said
uh,
it's a very important game for the Raptors, but it's not like this like same like every other game. So
it
sorry,
is what
guys.
it is.
Yeah,
I mean, there is a little bit of extra because Barrett playing against old team, OG playing against old team. It's the only game on the slate, perhaps, but not quite. I'd say playoff environment. Regardless, we can move forward
yeah.
here. One last one we can go through here. Nicholas asked about Towns under 12.5 rebounds at -115. What do you think about the Towns rebound matchup today?
So I mean, the Raptors are. He's been rebounding like crazy lately. Raptors are below average rebound matchup. But look at this, like he is been rebounding like crazy lately. Was really, really good on the rebounds part. He
Wow.
averaged playing 28 plus minutes, averaged 13.5 rebounds. I think he's leading the game in rebounds. Maybe I'm wrong here. Like
I can
who,
check.
who is leading who is leading the league in rebounds? Like Towns is up there somewhere.
He's got to
Gobert has
be
a down.
close.
Yeah, Gobert has a down year. Sabonis have a down year on rebounding. So
And Wemby's not having a
any
upgraded year.
rebounder. Yeah, no rebounds for Wemby.
Let's see as NBA stats loads up here. How many is Carly? Jokic is leading the league. Jokic has 13.6.
And Towns is like
Towns
13.
13.2.
So he's like second or third. Where is Hartenstein?
They're very high up. Where's Hardenstein? I'll have to see. Hang on.
Maybe he doesn't have like enough games. Hartenstein is at 12.8, so he's probably third or fourth. So yeah, these guys are.
I don't see him. So yeah, there must be like a game
Yeah.
amount of games you have to have
So
played.
last, I'll look at this. Like last, I'll say just show this shorter version. Last 5-6 games, he's over in 5, average 14.7. The only under came against the Hornets. In that game, Hornets are one of the most difficult matches for the rebounds. I think they are like one of the best in the league. Hornets allow 8 least rebounds. And he covered this against the Orlando Magic, who allows second least rebounds, and against Utah Jazz that allow fourth least rebounds. So he was covering this in almost every single matchup. So doesn't care about how many good matchup, bad matchup, he covered this. So also potential rebounding chances 23, 23, 16, 23, 25. So a lot. So I don't like the under.
All right, fair enough.
Honestly, like betting Brunson. Now that I don't know that this is not a cup game, I am more inclined to looking at it. Maybe Towns is rested tonight for the cup game on Wednesday. So maybe
Okay.
I now lean like that this line could go up when they rule out Towns. I'm now like
Okay.
at 50-50 that Towns is playing. So if this was a cup game, I'm like 95% sure Towns is playing this way.
Oh, I understand why you're okay. Well, I would still think he plays. If it was a cup game, I'd say like 100% Karl Anthony Towns
Yeah,
plays today.
yeah. So
Understood. He could still play. I mean, it's
He could still.
New York. It's the Knicks. Every game is every game's a cup game to them sometimes with the minutes they throw out there. I still well, that's guesswork. I wouldn't promote, guessing whether Cat's in or
Yeah.
out. I'd say if he is in, look at Brunson here. If you really don't think Towns are going to play, then maybe lean towards an over. Let me see how this market has adjusted since we started. We've been going 45 minutes here. So Brunson, it's slightly come down to a better price on his over from what I remember. So, but it's heavy juice on the over 25.5. So we'll see. I guess we'll just have to see if Towns is playing.
Yeah. I'll just check something else.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up?
27 blowouts. Just a second. I'm just trying to decide on the. Nah, that's it. That's it. One game slate, one bet. That's it.
Okay. Understood. We'll recap the bet that was up here. We also went from the chat, but we'll recap what we have here. So we'll put up the Brunson one here. It's a lean. It's not an official bet. This one, not official, but Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points. We're hoping to see it at 23.5. But if Karl Anthony Towns is not playing, then the price would probably be a little bit too high to make a wager on. But the official bet that is going to be played for the show record is Ochai Agbaji under 11.5 points plus rebounds at minus 110 odds. Also, speaking of leans, Grady Dick over 2.5 threes was a strong lean by Pips as well. But just the one official pick on the show today. I think we did pretty well. Still a pretty lengthy show, going in-depth on the Knicks and the Raptors, despite the one game on the slate, which means we should have an even better show tomorrow. We'll be covering the Tuesday slate of NBA Cup games, and hopefully as well we'll be covering the Wednesday slate of NBA Cup games. And we'll keep you updated on the show schedule for the rest of the week as a result, but looking like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday shows on the Board YouTube channel this week. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you know when the content's coming out. Make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the content. And also, please make sure you do subscribe, drop a like as well to support this particular episode of Pick and Roll presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. One game I'll certainly be watching, and hopefully you'll be watching as well. Hopefully we'll be cashing this Ochai Agbaji under for the show. We'll see you next time, guys.